Okay, so we're gonna install this water pump real quick, and we're gonna put a little ultra gray silicone on there. I like the ultra gray stuff. I don't know if it works any better than anything else, but you don't have to sit there and mop this stuff on as you get most of the dirt off. A lot of people, when they put silicone on, I mean, they put a huge bead all the way around, and I really like doing that. To me, I take the cap off, this little plastic cap, spike the hole in the end, and I hold it up like that and squeeze it on there. And you kind of go around like that, and it kind of makes it, and I'm shaking my hand to kind of give it that welded bead look. I have no idea why I do that, but
it spreads it out a little bit.
Yeah, it's just, I like seeing it looking like a weld. It's like I welded it with RTV. All right, so you don't need a whole lot of RTV. You can go around the edges. Now, for whatever reason, I'm autistic, so I usually go around the bolt holes for a stupid reason, but...
What would you advise people not to do? Because we've all seen where people just absolutely slather this stuff on and mess all kinds of stuff up.
Yeah, don't run a huge bead. You don't need a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch bead. Just hold your, the way I do it is when you hold it down on a flat surface like that, you hold it down and you tilt it just a little bit. So as you're coming off, it kind of drags it like that. And you get this, decent little, real small bead on there, and it'll flatten out because the surfaces, they're almost perfect together within a couple of thousandths of an inch. But don't mount it up. Don't put a whole bunch of RTV on there, because the main deal is you're wasting your money. You're wasting RTV. 2, on a coolant system, it's not that critical. On other systems, you can actually get so much RTV in an engine, you plug up oil holes. And I've had to rebuild engines in the oil field because people put so much RTV on something, there's chunks of it in the oil pump pickup. And most of the engines that I rebuild, the pickup screens for the oil pump on the bottom have chunks of RTV in them because somebody's been in there. And don't know if that caused the problem or not, but...
Sure didn't help.
No. So on mine, I leave it alone. Some people take their finger and they kind of they like to do it like that to where it spreads it out 100%. I don't really think that's necessary, but it doesn't hurt. So if you want to do it that way, great. To me, it just kind of... You get stuff on your finger, then you have to clean it off, and it just wastes time, and we've already spent enough time on a Zetor tractor, so that's it. And then stick that in your mouth. And
oh, yeah, tasty. Nice
good
right there.
So we'll go stick this on real quick. All right, so something else a lot of people do, and I don't necessarily agree with this method. They put RTV silicone on it. They stick the component on the engine or whatever they're using, and they leave it loose for a little bit. They let it tack up for a good 4 or 5 minutes, and then they tighten it down. I don't know why they do that. It's to me, it's kind of a wives' tale. Once you put the RTV on there, stick your bolt in, and you just tighten it down like you're normally ready to go. The only time I've ever had it fail is when I didn't clean the surface very well. If you have any oil on the surface at all, the RTV silicone will not stick to it.
That makes sense.
Kind of like when you're painting something. You paint something, when you have a oil contamination on any kind of silicone, well, you'll have a little fisheye there, and it's the same kind of deal. But just put it on there, tighten it down. You're supposed to let it cure for a couple hours before you put coolant in it or whatever. Like, I'm a mechanic, so I don't really have time to let it cure. So I'll just put it on there, and then as soon as I'm ready to go, I put your fluid in it and start it up.